Update. Am I the a-hole for telling my ex-boyfriend that he deserves to be alone and using his sterility against him? Original post. I, 33 female, had been with my ex-boyfriend, 34 male, for almost 10 years. He was my first love, and I can't describe how much I loved him. We have known each other since primary school. We became friends immediately. We really enjoyed each other's company because we shared the same sense of humor and beliefs. We fell in love and started dating at 19. We live both in Europe, but he is from a different country. His family is very conservative, and they never approved of our relationship. They wanted him to date a girl from their culture. I tried everything to please them. I learned his mother language, and I respected his family, and never said a bad word to them. We even have the same religion. I did not convert for him. I was born in the same religion. His parents even told me that I'm a nice girl, but I'm simply from the wrong culture, and they would lose face if he would marry me. My ex always had my back, as well as his sister. She was the only one who was welcoming towards me. He told his parents that I'm the love of his life, and he is going to either marry me or not at all. Apart from the problems with his family, we had a great relationship. We were each other's first relationship, and we also had our first time together. Of course, we fought, like every couple, but just about silly things. We were really compatible, and he simply was my soulmate. Or so I thought. This makes the following even more devastating. About 5 years ago, he suddenly broke up with me. The breakup came out of the blue, and I didn't expect it. He told me that his parents found him a wife from his culture, and he accepted to marry her. They already met and settled on a date for the engagement. He told me that he loved me, but his parents would never accept me since it had already been 10 years, and says he didn't want to waste more time and start a family. We waited for his parents' blessing, since we didn't want to welcome a child into this mess. After that, he blocked me and my family and friends and everything. I tried to reach his sister, but she had blocked me too. He and his family moved into a different city, and I was left behind with so many questions nobody could answer me. Why now? Why did he have my back for 10 years just to abandon me in a sec? I was heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very dark period in my life. I only got through it due to my loving family and friends, who supported me through every step of healing. It took me a very long time to trust again. I stayed single for almost 4 years. Then about a year ago, I met my current boyfriend. I really thought I'm not able to trust and love again, but he healed every inch of my heart. He is just the sweetest and funniest guy on earth. 2 weeks ago, my ex contacted me on Facebook with a fake account. He gave me a long apology for the way he treated me and said he never stopped loving me, blah blah blah. I called BS and told him to not waste my time and to just spill the beans. He told me that he couldn't have children, and his wife divorced him because she wanted biological kids. In his culture, most people won't adopt, and he remembered that I always wanted to adopt. He then told me that we can finally be together, since his parents know that it would be hard to find a woman from their culture who doesn't want bio children. Suddenly, they're all over the moon for us getting back together. I simply wrote back, I'm in a happy relationship and don't want you in my life. After the way you treated me, I have absolutely no empathy left for you. You deserve to be alone. I don't want to waste more time and start my own family. And since you're not capable of giving me children, it's good that you're gone. I blocked him after that. His sister called me a few days later and told me that my ex is really hurt about what I said and to please give him another chance to explain himself. I told her that I really don't care about him anymore and to never contact me again. But after I calmed down, I kinda regret using his sterility against him. Anger got the best of me in that moment. I just wanted to be done with him as fast as possible, and to be honest, I wanted to hurt him like it had hurt me. But now I kinda regret it. My boyfriend says he deserved it, but he loves me and might be biased. Same with my family and friends. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Your anger is definitely understandable. He blew it when he let his parents and culture decide his love life. Do his parents not lose face if he remains a bachelor? And he's got some nerve reaching out after 5 years and treating you like a backup plan. However, you could have taken the high road and simply said, "No, you hurt me terribly, and it took me a long time to heal from it. I've moved on with another man, and I have zero interest in going back. I suggest you move on with a new woman who accepts you. And this time, don't let your family or culture break you up. Also, I don't like what his reaching out is doing to me. I fought really hard to get over him, and now he has the audacity to come back and open old wounds? I was in such a good place, and now I just feel angry. That he came back just shows that he never cared about me in the first place. I love my new boyfriend, and I would never get back with ex. I'm still angry though." Sounds all understandable how you reacted. It might be a good idea to check in with a coach or therapist. Him leaving the first time around caused you trauma. A few chats can make you sure you grow past it. He sounds like he's not worth the anger it's causing. I saw a coach for that matter after we broke up. I have an appointment with him next week. Honestly, the comments and support here, as well as just writing everything down, helped me to realize that I don't need to feel guilty. I'm happy that I dodged a bullet. Not a-hole. What did he expect? That you would be sitting around waiting for him to change his mind or something? He deserves every word you said, and then some. Hopefully you and your current boyfriend are happy and prosperous in your life together. Put your past behind you and live your best life. It is truly the best revenge. That's exactly what he thought. Because in his deluded mind, he is God's gift to all women, and the world revolves around him. He needed a harsh and brutal reality check, and Opie gave him one. He got so hurt by the truth that his sister had to step in and call Opie. His whole family are beyond pathetic and desperate to get him married off face up before their conservative community and family members finds out he's infertile. The audacity of him and his disgusting family to think there is even a small chance that Opie leaves her boyfriend to marry an infertile man. You were not the a-hole. You were actually too nice to him. There is no excuse for a 30-year-old man living in 21st century Europe to do this to love of his life because his parents would not approve her. It was pathetic and selfish then, but it is over the roof now. So he and his sister are on Facebook? Personally, I would vent about all of it in an open Facebook post. Without holding back my words, it would bring me closure. And of course, I want to tag them both, and whoever else I want to tag. Thank you so much for your idea. It really made me laugh. But I don't want to give him any further attention. I don't want him to know that his sudden message opened up an old wound. I'd rather let him know that I don't care about him at all. I just want to move on with my life and be happy. Now for the first update. First of all, thank you so much for your kind words and really thoughtful input. You have no idea how much it's helped me. So today my ex-boyfriend and his sister showed up at my door. I really didn't want to let them in, but my boyfriend told me that I maybe need to hear what they have to tell me to close this chapter of my life. So I let them in. My boyfriend went to our bedroom to give us room to talk, but he said I should call him if I needed him. My ex and his sister told me that their parents arranged a marriage for him 10 years ago with his ex-wife. Arranged marriages are apparently pretty common in his culture. He told me that he didn't want to marry her, but his parents guilt-tripped him into marrying her. They told him that the whole family would lose face if he doesn't oblige, and to think about his sisters. Who's gonna marry them if the family reputation is destroyed? He basically agreed into this marriage to protect the family reputation. His sister also apologized for blocking me. She told me that her parents had threatened her that they will cut all financial support if she ever had contact with me again. She was 19 and a student at that time, so I honestly understand and don't hold a grudge against her. I told her that as well. She told me that she started dating a man from another culture 3 years ago. Her parents basically put her through the same nonsense as they did with my ex. But she told them that she will not allow them to destroy her life, like they destroyed the life of my ex. She cut all contact with her family except for my ex. She then told me that he put her through college, maybe to show me that he is a good guy after all. At this point, my ex started crying. He told me that he is so sorry. When his sister cut contact, he thought about getting a divorce and begged me for forgiveness, but he was sure that I wouldn't take him back. He said that he never loved his ex-wife and that he only ever loved me and that he still loves me. He also cut contact with his parents a few days ago. He told me that he is very sorry for what happened and that he will try the rest of his life to make it up to me if I just give him one more chance, and many more stuff. I just let him talk. Honestly, seeing him after all that time, I thought that I would be in a rage or cry or that meeting him would bring some emotion into the surface. Really, anything. I was really surprised. I was completely calm and I felt no deep feelings towards him. It was like a stranger was telling me a story. Of course, I felt sorry for him, but all that hurt and anger that I felt after his message was completely gone. After he finished, I apologized for holding his sterility against him. Then I told him that although I'm really sorry how his life went, there is absolutely no chance in getting back together. I told him that he is and will be my past, and that I don't want any further contact. That I love my boyfriend from the bottom of my heart, and that he is my future. He started crying more but said that he understands and wished me luck. His sister said that she would be happy to stay in contact. I told her that I'm really proud of her, that she had the courage to stand up against her parents, and that I wish her all the best in life. But I also think that some connections should stay in the past. She was sad, but also very understanding. She hugged me before they left and wished me a happy life with my boyfriend. It sounded sincere. Honestly, I'm happy that they showed up. It kinda helped me to get closure. And it showed me how lucky I am to have my boyfriend. Glad to hear this. It took your ex years to do what his sister did. He just cut off his parents a few days ago. He chose not to fight for you, and now that he is damaged goods and divorced, he was willing to come back to you. You were right to close that chapter of your life. May you have a wonderful life with your boyfriend. His sister would probably not been able to do so if she had not witnessed her brother's story before. It is unfair to compare siblings in every way, but specifically when it comes to dealing with a toxic family. There are studies on the matter that shows that as the older sibling always try to stay on track to comply to parents' BS because he cannot know better, the younger ones can realize that following the rules doesn't guarantee a good outcome, and so are more rebellious. It is thanks to her big brother's unfortunate turn of events in his love life that she knew better than listen to her parents. So when he thought he could have kids and actively trying to have kids, he was sure you wouldn't take him back. But now when he knows he is sterile, he was sure you will take him back? And his explanation for ghosting you was that no one will marry sisters in the 21st century Europe if he doesn't sacrifice himself to another woman? And what was his reason for not telling you all of this drama then, other than the lack of basic decency? Your ex is a very interesting guy. Yes, I dodged a bullet. I'm so happy that it didn't last. I feel really sorry for him. I hate these family-centered cultures that think parents have the right to arrange and control every aspect of their children's lives and make it so hard and guilt-riddled for the children to free themselves and live their own lives and make their own choices. But for you and him, it was simply too late. He completely destroyed your trust, not just by leaving you, but by how he left you. Maximum amount of pain and betrayal, zero amount of explanation, empathy, or any real effort to mitigate the damage. I'm glad you got closure, and I hope he'll be able to move on too. And I hope their parents die miserable and alone, and cut off from all of their offspring. I know now that the breakup was the best thing that happened to me. He was my first love, and I missed so many red flags. Now that I know how a healthy relationship looks like, I would never go back to that. I hope that he also finds closure and happiness. Oh, what were the red flags that you missed, if I may ask, apart from his bullying family? It's just that in your first post, you described him like he had been close to perfect. Well, we were together for 10 years, and he didn't propose because his parents were not ready. We didn't try for children because his parents were not accepting of us. Although he stood up for me when they said something mean, he really never acted towards building a future together, like proposing, for example. I just realized that he actually always put his parents' needs before mine. I was just so blind. He basically showed me again and again that he wouldn't choose me. Now for the last update. Hi guys, it's been a few weeks after my last post, and I just wanted to give you a small update about my life because you guys helped me so much. My boyfriend proposed on our anniversary some weeks ago, and I said yes. So we are going to marry at the end of September in a small ceremony, with only our family and a small group of friends. I'm also pregnant with our first child. Life couldn't be better right now, and sometimes I'm still afraid that it's just a dream. As for my ex, I ran into his sister today while shopping. We went for a coffee and she congratulated me. She told me that my ex already told her that I'm pregnant. Apparently, my sister posted a picture of my ultrasound in IG with the caption, "Can't wait to meet you." I don't use IG, so I wasn't aware of it. She told me that he had a meltdown and wanted to contact me and fight for my love. She told him to move on, since I'm obviously happy, and to not cause any issues. She told me that he was hurt by her words, but he knew that she is right, so he didn't contact me. I'm so thankful for her thoughtfulness. We chatted a bit more and then went our separate ways. I really hope that it finds happiness someday. I, for myself, decided that it's not healthy to hold grudges. I'm focusing on our baby and just being happy with my fiancé. Am I the a-hole for demanding respect from my daughter-in-law, and if she can't, get the heck out? I'm a young mother-in-law at only 39. I had my kids pretty young, and I am very lucky that my husband makes a lot of money, so I don't have to work. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and once they started to spread their wings instead of going to work, my husband and I decided I would be a homemaker and be active in the community. That's what I have been up to, and I try to make the community a better place. Now, my oldest son, 22, is married and I was really excited until I met her. In general, she is a very business-focused person that is very blunt. I actively dislike her, but I try to be polite for my son's sake. A few examples of why I don't like her. Her wedding gift I handed over saying it was for me and my husband. She responded back with, "Just your husband, since I know it wasn't your money that paid for it." Saying I'm volunteering, but well, that's not a real job since it doesn't make money. It's passive-aggressive, and yes, I've talked to my son about it, and even once with her to try to clear the air. We had a get-together last night, and I made a homemade meal. When I was placing everything, she came up to me and made a comment that no wonder I could make a home-cooked meal. I don't do anything else with my day. I lost it and told her that she needs to respect me or get the heck out of my house. She was shocked and then started to cry when I did kick her out. My son is mad, and we had a huge argument, and he called me a huge a-hole. Now I need an outside opinion. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Wow, she's a total a-hole. Just because you don't conform to her business-focused personality doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. What you and your husband have works for the two of you, and you volunteer for the community. Whether it pays or not doesn't take away from your commitment and responsibility to show to others. Daughter-in-law is a piece of work. What does husband say to all of this? My husband hates her, and I had to drag him to the wedding, only so it wouldn't destroy his and our son's relationship. Look, I hate to say this, but it sounds like your son doesn't respect you. She acted like she was better than you, more than once, and your son should have nipped that in the bud first time. Basic respect for partners' parents should be a hill to die on, in my opinion. Honestly, you should sit him down, the three of you without a daughter-in-law, and see what the heck is going on. This woman might be twisting facts or not, but if he can't see how wrong her behavior is and doesn't check her, I just minimize the contact with both for as long as needed, preferably till it comes to his senses. Agreeing with this and adding, please make sure you tell your son you both love him, and if/when this marriage ends, he should know he can count on you both for support. You are definitely not the only person daughter-in-law is treating this way. Eventually, he will recognize the pattern that he married an a-hole, and hopefully he'll be able to get out. You can keep a firm boundary about how she treats you and still let him know he's welcome to come home when it implodes with her. Not the a-hole. Holy crap. She's putting you down for being a stay-at-home mom for what? Shits and giggles? That's very small of her. She's the a-hole, and the fact that you've talked to your son about this and how he's most likely seen her makes these comments makes him an a-hole too. I firmly believe that you don't marry someone because they get along with your family, but that doesn't mean they get to treat your family like trash. Jealousy. Dollars to donuts, the daughter-in-law tries to finagle her way into being a stay-at-home mom before this business-focused shell cracks. Not the a-hole. How on earth could your son be justifying this behavior? He says it's cultural, but this woman was raised in the same country as me and is the same race. So I don't know how it's cultural to be a prick. It's cultural to disrespect your boyfriend's mom in her own home? Lol. Your son is full of it, and he knows it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to wear my sister-in-law's wedding dress to my wedding? I, 23 female, am getting married to my fiancé, 24 male in a month. He has an identical twin brother, with whom he's keeping a bit of a distance with because of his past possessive behavior of wanting to share everything with each other. From interests, hobbies, and even friends. His brother got eloped to his wife, 27 female, and even suggested to my fiancé to do the same on the same day as him. But of course, he shut that down quickly as we both agreed on having a wedding already. However, I ended up being contacted by my fiancé's brother requesting me to wear his wife's wedding dress from their elopement to my wedding, which I obviously turned down, telling him that I've already got a specific wedding dress in my mind. He dropped the subject, and for 2 weeks I didn't hear about it again, so I thought that was the end of it. But yesterday, my fiancé's brother and his wife showed up at our house and invited, may I add, got up sister-in-law's wedding dress, and then literally asked me to try out right here, and that they'd make adjustments if the size doesn't fit. Thank God my husband stepped in and kicked them both out of our house, even though it did end up with a really big argument between my fiancé and his brother. I got contacted again later on by my brother-in-law, who said that my inability to make any compromises in order for his and his brother's wedding experiences to be intertwined is straining their relationship. Honestly, at this point, I'm just getting the creeps from brother-in-law, and my gut's telling me that him and sister-in-law may attempt to sabotage our wedding out of revenge. And even my husband agrees with the sentiment. We're now strongly considering to uninvite both my brother-in-law and sister-in-law from our wedding, but my husband's still a bit reluctant to do it yet because of the inevitable drama it'll cause with his family. Am I the a-hole? Compromises? What compromises? Your wedding is between you and your future husband. Your brother-in-law is delusional for thinking he has a say in your wedding, not the a-hole. He wants my fiancé to have a similar wedding experience as him at any cost. He even tried to guilt trip us about the dress thing by saying that he already accepted we want a wedding instead of eloping like them. His entitlement is honestly getting out of hand at this point. Not the a-hole. Your fiancé and brother-in-law are not 5 anymore, where they have to wear matching outfits and share toys. This is you and your fiancé's wedding, not your brother-in-law and sister-in-law. They had their day. You have yours the way you both want without your brother-in-law inserting himself. By the way, what is your mother-in-law's stance on all this? According to my fiancé, their mom always found it adorable how his brother wanted to share and do everything together with him when they were children. And I don't think that stance from her has changed. Especially because my fiancé is sure she'll completely object to him and inviting his brother from his wedding if it gets there. I'm sure it was cute when they were 5, not so much at 25. I'm imagining sister-in-law showing up to the wedding in her wedding dress wanting pictures with the groom. Not gonna lie, my sister-in-law showing up in her wedding dress to my wedding is one of the things I fear may happen, especially after she made a comment about her dress looking too good to be used only once. Tell her she's supposed to have it put away to pass down to her children someday, not to use it to try to relive her wedding day vicariously through you. Not the a-hole. That is creepy. I suggest passwords with all your vendors just in case, and a bouncer. Your wedding planner, security, someone to make sure your wedding and reception stays your way. Someone who will turn away anyone not invited or wearing a wedding dress who isn't you. This. I've read too many stories about psycho family members who changed the actual wedding couple's plans without their knowledge. And you picked a password, since the twin might be really good at guessing what his brother would pick. Make sure all planners, caterers, etc. know that the groom has an identical twin who's looking to cause trouble. If they're being this weird, his brother showing up to these places as him probably isn't as unlikely as you'd hope. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my sister to my baby shower? My husband and I have been trying to have a baby for several years. We had a really hard time conceiving, but after a few years of trying, we finally got pregnant. We told our family the news and told them the baby names we had picked, Violet for a girl and Carson for a boy. We unfortunately lost the baby in the 2nd trimester. Then we experienced 2 more miscarriages and went through a couple more rounds of failed IVF. It was a very difficult and traumatic time for us. We visited my family over the 2022 winter holidays, and my sister announced that she was pregnant. I was genuinely happy for her. until she told us the names they'd chosen. Violet for a girl, Carson for a boy. I took her aside and told her that I was very happy for her pregnancy, but hurt and confused that she would choose our baby names, especially with everything we've been through. And she basically said, "Don't try to pull the miscarriage card on me. You can't call dibs on a name." I tried talking to her a couple more times about it, but each time she'd say things like, "You might never have kids. You can't just keep those names in reserve forever," and was just so hurtful. I stopped bringing it up for the sake of keeping the peace, and after a few months, she told my parents she wasn't going to use either of those names, but wouldn't tell anybody what name they had chosen. Fast forward to a couple months ago, and she gave birth to her baby girl, Violetta Carson. And I'm just so hurt. I found out in the early spring that I'm pregnant, and I'm far enough along now that the doctors feel pretty good about everything, and we let our families know last month. My mom and her friends have planned a baby shower, but I told her I do not want my sister invited. My mom said I'm being an a-hole for not inviting her over the baby's name, but at this point it's not even about the name to me anymore. It's the malicious comments, the lack of compassion, and the overall pettiness. So tell me, good people of Reddit, am I the a-hole for not inviting my sister to my baby shower? Edit for further context. Prior to this, my sister and I were in decent terms. She's always been competitive and attention-seeking, and growing up, she'd find ways to one-up me, or make my special occasions like my birthday party or high school graduation all about her. But never to this extent. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I'm usually on team you can't call dibs on a name, but the fact that she chose both names you had picked, it is completely dismissive of the pain caused by miscarriage, makes it seem like this is more about hurting you than choosing a name she really likes. She used both names, but changed them both significantly. What the hell is that about? It's about technically being able to say that she didn't use her sister's baby names, which, whatever, still a prick move. Well, she's now stuck with her daughter having Carson for a middle name, so Opie gets the last laugh. I realize people can't call dibs on names, but the lack of compassion demonstrated by her sister is poor form. Her alternative spellings of both names seem spiteful. You're not the a-hole for not wanting her at the baby shower. Have nice people there to share your joy. Imagine being so competitive and vindictive you ruin your child's life to stick it to your sister. Yeah, she took two beautiful names and completely butchered them. I honestly think I'd feel more sorry for her than anything else. You're not the a-hole. Sounds like your mom is in some denial about how her other daughter has behaved all her life. She's always been competitive and attention-seeking, and growing up, she'd find ways to one-up me or make my special occasions, like my birthday party or high school graduation, all about her. And your mom doesn't see the problem? No, it's not just about the name. It's about narcissistic egotism, lies, and mocking your tragedies. Not the a-hole OP. Her mom doesn't see the problem because her head is so far up sister's butt. You can tell this is a typical golden child syndrome probably caused by the mother. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to work more if she wants to help her sister financially? My wife, 38 female, and I, 37 male, have been married for 12 years and have 3 kids, 10, 8, and 5. We both work full-time and have the kids in daycare during the summer until school starts up again. We both make decent money, but with the cost of literally everything going up more and more often, our budget is getting tighter. We still live comfortably within our means, but we are saving much less and are being more conscious of our discretionary spending. Our youngest is starting kindergarten this fall, so that will help because we aren't spending on daycare anymore. But our oldest kids are now in more sports and extracurricular activities, which pretty much offset any saving we would be doing in childcare. We aren't anywhere near struggling, but we are definitely more aware of how we spend our money now. My wife's younger sister Jen, 30 female, is 6 months pregnant with her 3rd child. Jen is not married, and this is her 3rd different baby daddy. Only one of the first 2 fathers is involved. The other is a complete deadbeat who regularly skips child support payments. Jen recently called my wife and told her that her current baby's dad left her and she's freaking out and asking for help. Whether that be money, a place to stay, anything. My wife's parents both passed away and they have no other siblings, just each other. So obviously my wife wants to do whatever we can to help. But we don't have the space to house them and don't have a lot of extra money to give them either. My wife wants to give Jen a few $100s every month and to start watching her 2 older kids so Jen can keep working. Personally, I think that idea is short-sighted because Jen won't be able to work after the new baby comes. My idea was to dip into savings and pay for a lawyer for Jen to do a better job for getting the child support she's owed. I would rather bite a bigger bullet once than death by 1,000 cuts over months and months. But my wife says that won't help put food on Jen's table every week. So I laid out our budget and asked my wife where we can make cuts to support Jen, because I just don't see it. I asked her what she would be willing to give up or have our kids go without to support Jen. She got mad at me and called me heartless for not wanting to help. It turned into a fight, and I ended up telling her that if she wants to support her sister like this, then she is going to need to work more or get a second job, because I'm not compromising our family budget long term. All of our finances are shared, so it's not like either of us has our own money to use however we want. I also know that my wife and I are the only family Jen has, and I agree that we should help. But adding hundreds or possibly more to our monthly budget isn't going to work. Jen needs more help than we can provide, and she needs to find resources that can do that for her. But my wife thinks I am being an uncaring a-hole about this. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Someone might want to explain to Jen what keeps causing these pregnancies. You have no idea how hard I had to bite my tongue to keep myself from bringing this up. But that would have done nothing but add fuel to the fire. No point in making this worse than it is. You seem very level-headed about all of this. It's a difficult situation, but I think you've been fair in presenting the options and trying to think long-term, and getting her the child support she's owed sounds like the best idea to me. Not the a-hole. I asked her what she would be willing to give up or have our kids go without to support Jen. She dodged the question that needs to be asked and played a guilt trip on top of it. Not the a-hole. Stay the course. Your sister-in-law has made her own bed and can continue lying in it. This OP. Your home and your children should not be punished or suffer the consequences of your sister-in-law's decisions. What will happen if there is a fourth or even a fifth nephew? Is it going to be a constant situation in which your children cannot have benefits for this? Your sister-in-law has to deal with the consequences of her actions and put her life in order. Otherwise, her behavior will only escalate and you will be the ones harmed by it. Not the a-hole. Stand your ground. As someone has suffered more than one instance of deadbeat aunt needs help, be mindful of your kids. They see and understand way more than you think they do.